Stop beating yourself up over that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Aren't you a pastor? Tell me. Just saying. We'll call him a philanthropath. It's a psychopath disguised as a philanthropist.
Unfortunately, some members of the community use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Because that's how the mind works.
And some of the trees actually still have their leaves.
I used to ride my motorcycle throughout, Healdsburg and Santa Rosa after the fires hit, and I was like, this is not natural.
The perception of truth. Podcast.
Welcome back. I'm Vernon Roach.
And I'm Julianne Bryson.
And this is Perception of Truth Podcast. The only pot that's legal in all 50 states. Facts.
Oh, boy.
Unfortunately, here in the United States, that's not true for real cannabis.
You know what, man? We were so involved in the legalization in California, but when it was all said and done, I deeply regretted it because now I know that the government's really good at coming in and effing everything up instead of making it better.
Yeah.
They really screwed up the California cannabis industry big time. And now they're basically banning hemp in California. It's so dirty. California's so dirty.
Yeah. And the
I'm
stuff
a native, I know.
That's right. That's right. And Texas, too. They're going through it.
But they vetoed it. They vetoed that bill, and I'm so excited about that because I'm like, duh, Texas, full of cartel activity. You want to make THC illegal. Do you know that you're just passing it to the cartels to let them do all the dirty things they're going to do with it? I mean, it's crazy. But that's exactly what happened in California. They legalized cannabis when before we actually had some pretty reasonable laws around cannabis. Mm-hmm. Now it's totally different. And the tax rate and all the red tape and everything basically just drives people right back to the black market to purchase anything cannabis.
According to the local publication WeHo Online, at the Artistry Dispensary here, a $100 cannabis purchase on July 1st rang up to $142.49, thanks to nearly $43 in combined local and state taxes. Cannabis operators and employees say these rising costs could have serious consequences, driving customers to the black market for cheaper prices and potentially crippling businesses already running on tight budgets.
And who controls the black market? The cartel. Yep. I mean, it's simple if you understand all the levers of control at play, but if you don't understand that, then the idea of legalizing pot sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. I love to hear you talk about that. I've learned so much from you, just you being the pioneer in that in California, and going through it. You were explaining to me about how that truly screwed everything up with those regulations in California in the beginning.
Well, the sad truth is that our government's so damn dirty, and they are in alignment with a lot of these nefarious players. Just even the lobbyists that came in and just gained so much control, because you've got liquor lobbyists that are involved. They don't want THC to be a successful industry because it takes away from... Because, most people are finally waking up that cannabis is actually good for you and liquor's not. Mm-hmm. So you want to get high? Maybe use cannabis instead of beer. But the liquor industry ain't happy about that realization coming to light. And then you've got Big Pharma that is against CBD. So they've got their lobbyists in place to make anything related to CBD impossible. That's why we still experience all the red tape that we do with treatables. So we get it from both angles. Your two strongest lobbyists in the country are liquor lobbying and the pharma lobbying.
Yeah,
and they got their hands in everything.
In my personal journey with all that, and I don't mind talking about it, is I've been sober now for almost 3 years.
Congrats.
Like it. Yeah, thank you. Here's the thing. I've drank enough for 2 lifetimes. I love bourbon. I'm a Kentucky boy, so bourbon was a staple for me growing up. And here's the thing. That alcohol is one of the worst things that's legal out there that can destroy a person's life. And the addiction's real, with that. And the fact that we market it every day. And listen, I'm in that business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Right.
You know, I think everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes even deeper for me. That goes with making regulations on cannabis, all kinds of stuff. I think people should be able to make their decision on what they want to do. You know,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there's so many things out here that are highly addictive, that are pretty much poisons.
Yeah.
You know, but we allow it because of the money that's made off of it, right?
Yeah.
And then we can just slap a thing on it that says, "Hey, this will kill you, but enjoy." You know what I mean? But stuff that truly does the opposite, like cannabis, you know, and that's how we met. You know, and my father had brain cancer when he was alive, and it almost took his life, and he had made a decision. He was on treatments and everything else, and he had made a decision to just put it all in God's hands. He called me one day and he said, "Bring me cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to try everything."
Amen.
Yeah, and at that time, I would not have believed that cannabis was an answer. I was indoctrinated myself. You know, I had messed with it in high school and stuff like that, but I didn't believe that it was, healthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought, well, you just want to smoke pot. You know, that was where I was indoctrinated.
Yeah.
So when Dad hit me, I was like, all right, Dad, let's do this. So I started going on that journey with him, and I watched him get healthy.
Yeah.
I watched his cancer go into remission. I watched him gain enough weight to get his driver's license back, and he started driving a cab, and he was a truck driver most of my childhood.
Yeah.
So that's what he knew, right? He was a driver. And with his cancer in remission, using cannabis, he lived, they only give him 6 months to live.
Oh, wow.
He lived 6 years and died in a car wreck.
Oh,
You know?
that breaks my heart.
Yeah, but it convinced me. There's something here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
That's what put me on the path.
Well, talk about indoctrination. I mean, we've been fed a whole pack of lies around cannabis and the health benefits. And I mean, the history of it has just been completely destroyed and distorted. And it's so sad. Even the cannabis plant has been manipulated so much. It's sad that it's like the cannabinoid levels that are in pot now are just, it's all about the THC, you know, and all those minor cannabinoids are just like way down here. Their levels are way lower, and there's no balance to the plant anymore. So it's pretty sad. But you made me think of the MAHA initiative that's happening now, where RFK Jr. is trying to take all the pharma ads off of TV, because we're like the only country in the world that has these ads that are allowed. And it's like they list all the side effects of like the drugs, and then they're like, "It's so great for you though." You know, it's like, what in the heck?
Side effects may include seizures, coma, rabies, gonorrhea, bleeding from the anus, pink eye, red eye, nausea, explosive diarrhea, chlamydia, short breath, malaria, pneumonia, syphilis, herpes, suffocation, hair loss, HIV, gastritis, heartburn, tumors, cancer, and even death. Talk to your doctor today about Permatrack.
Well, that's a worldwide double standard. That's almost with everything.
Yeah.
That's like ingredients that's in food. Like, it blows my mind to look at all the stuff that's in breakfast cereal here, but in Europe, it's not like that.
No.
All of the ingredients that's in candy here, and it's not like that in Europe. You know, so why is it not like that, and why is it like that here? Is it a coincidence that we also are the only ones that run pharmaceutical commercials? I don't think so.
Well, and then you got a lot of the companies, a lot of the pharma companies are owned by the media companies too. So they've got the perfect, soapbox to promote their poisons on. It's really unbelievable that it's even legal. But have you seen all those posts? Like, they're not as common now, but like during the pandemic, all the Pfizer, "This is brought to you by Pfizer. And then you see like all these people like dropping over from the COVID vaccine because they literally like died suddenly.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
And there was like a whole bunch of like newscasters, and I mean, it's so sad, but like all the athletes and everybody that dropped, and then they're like brought to you by Pfizer.
No, and I'm going to tell you, some of the stuff that came out of that was, I've got a friend, and I'm not going to put him on blast because I wouldn't do that on a podcast. But he owns a funeral home. And he was one of those that I was talking to, and he's like, "Man," he said, "the people coming in here," he said, "there's blood clots everywhere. You know, when we go to embalm them, like we can't. It's hard to embalm them because there's so many, like blood clots and like these the stuff that's clogged everything up. And he said it wasn't like that before. So
those pictures of those blood clots that they're pulling out are so nasty. Like, that's highly suspicious, and I hope they get to the bottom of it. But of course, every time any story comes out about it, the media turns it into the fact checkers debunked this. And I mean, it's a travesty that they're allowed to tell these lies.
Yeah.
I mean, and that the COVID vaccine is still being administered. Like,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
We've already proven that it's like deadly.
Yeah.
Why is it still being given to people? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy. That's super crazy.
You know that Bill Gates got indicted in the Netherlands, right? They're trying to get this psychopath, or we'll call him a philanthropath. That's a
That's a philanthropath.
It's a philanthropist, it's a psychopath disguised as a philanthropist. I didn't make it up, but I love it. So he's a philanthropath, like many other people that run the world. Bill Gates is philanthropath, numero uno. But he's coming down. He's coming down.
Well,
he's got to.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Well, common sense would tell you if you have a man standing in front of you saying he's going to reduce the world's population by 10 or 15% using vaccines, what does that mean to you?
You make a good point. Like, people in power, somebody like him that has so much money and power. Mm-hmm. What people are like, well, he don't have to do anything. Well, he's in a position to where he can influence the whole world. You know? So why not create a way he can make more profit off of humanity?
And it's not just about greed. It's about power, and it's about the elite that think they're the only ones that deserve to continue to live on Earth. And this depopulation agenda is very real. All you have to do is go to the World Economic Forum website and read up on this stuff. Depopulation is their number one thing. And also, Bill Gates is a eugenicist. Basically is a belief system that there's a group of people that have the pristine genetics, and those are the only ones that get to continue living because they're going to kill off the rest of us.
Oh, wow.
And then they keep us all distracted with race wars and all these different things where they divide and conquer. The real thing that's happening behind the scenes is a depopulation agenda.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of ties in this whole eugenicist movement. And Bill Gates' father was a eugenicist. I mean, the people that started Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, I mean, they got everybody thinking that abortion is a woman's right, but they completely forget about the fact that eugenicists started abortion in black neighborhoods to kill black babies because they believe that black people should not exist in the future. They don't want any brown, black people, okay? These people are sick racists. There's a deep eugenicist racist agenda behind abortion. And there's also other sick stuff that goes on too. And we're just I just went down 5 rabbit holes at once, and I'm sorry, but I'll try to unpack it. But the whole abortion thing is so crazy because I used to think it was a woman's right too. I was raised that way. Of course it's a woman's right to do this. But then you look at what's happening to all these aborted babies. They're selling their body parts. They're selling their organs on the black market.
And so now every time I do a DNA, I'm like, oh, there's some flaws. You already know. I'm like, yeah, I have a leg for you. I'm like, oh shit. If other people were to hear me, they'd be like, you are
Wow.
And they promote it. Why are there more Planned Parenthoods in black neighborhoods than any other neighborhood? It's so sick. It's so sick. And I think it's really hard for most folks to look at, especially if they've been indoctrinated to believe that this is a women's rights issue.
Yeah, so I think about what Elon Musk was talking about, that countries like Japan are on the verge of collapse because of population. You know, like he was saying stuff like they were just a couple of generations from not having anybody because of the level of birth rates and things like that.
Yeah, also Japan is one of the first countries that's really digging into the depopulation agenda behind the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And how many people it took out. And Japan is exposing a lot of that nefarious stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And that's gone on. And a lot of the researchers in Japan, I mean, they've done a bunch of studies on it, and they've just exposed it recently. Of course, you don't hear about any of this in the mainstream news. They're covering it all up. But all these doctors and scientists in Japan are sounding the alarms on how many people died or are about to die from that jab.
On June the 15th, a group of courageous Japanese truth seekers from inside the system did what their government had refused to do. They went public with explosive vaccine data covering over 18 million people. This wasn't some anonymous leak. The broadcast featured Kazuhiro Haraguchi, a sitting member of Japan's House of Representatives, Dr. Yasufumi Murakami, a leading RNA scientist, and the Information Disclosure Request Team, a group demanding transparency from the Japanese Health Ministry. And make no mistake, Dr. Murakami is no fringe figure. He's a professor at the Tokyo University of Science and vice director at its Research Center for RNA Science. He earned his doctorate in pharmaceutical science from the University of Tokyo and has authorized over 100 peer-reviewed publications. This is a man from inside the system now speaking out. When Dr. Murakami analyzed the data, he was shocked and outraged. His conclusion was straight to the point. The more doses you get, the sooner you're going to die within a shorter period.
がオレンジで接種者と非接種者を正確に比べようということをしてみますと、非接種者はね、山ができないっていうのは、これ当たり前なんですよね。打っても別になくなるわけじゃない、打っていませんので、何の問題もなく、フラットになるわけです。問題は接種者の方なんですけれども、緑のグラフ。それが初め低いんですが、1週間、2週間は少ないんです、むしろ。で、1月ぐらいから山がですね、大きくなってきまして、3ヶ月、4ヶ月目にすごい山ができるということになるわけです。それでですね、これっていうのはどういうことかっていうと、おそらく、打ったお医者さんたちは、わかりまして、接種回数が増えていくと、死亡者の山の出現が早くなります。ということは、打てば打つほど
Man,
It's real.
that is real.
It's so diabolical and so sick. And this is why the cognitive dissonance is at the rate that it's at. I think people have a really hard time, myself included, wrapping your head around how diabolical the people that run the world actually are and how much they hate us and want us dead.
About it. I've been in the scene for a minute, brother.
What's going on, brother?
A little better I have been.
Yeah. So what'd you think about them gummies?
Man, those gummies right there, let me tell you. I popped one down the hatch. Next thing I know, I'm putting Bible verses on Facebook. I go to the studio, write the best verse I've ever wrote in my life.
Yeah.
Can I get another?
Andy Dolores, brother, I got you. Huh?
That whole thing, me?
Yes, sir.
Brother, you that dude.
Hey, we're in the business of making you have a great day, brother.
Stress-free, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
I take two.
Yeah, hey, take the caramels too, brother.
I made just good products.
Yeah, try
you
the
got to
caramels.
do it. Well, I got a birthday coming up. It's about 4 months out, man. Thank you, brother.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so we ended on a note of depopulation. What's the answer to that for us?
When we wake up every morning and we pray, we not only pray to worship and glorify God, but we also pray to be covered with the blood of Jesus for protection. And we put on the armor of God every morning.
Yes.
Because, God gets blamed for a lot of the stuff that the devil has been doing. Because people say all the time, well, if there's a God, then why do all these bad things happen? God did not create these bad things. Those were created by the enemy. Those are created by Satan himself. And Satan's very real. And the best lie he ever told was convincing folks that he doesn't exist. Because he's good at deceiving and distracting and destroying. So I think if you don't have Jesus in your heart, I'm sorry, but that means that you might be under the control of Satan.
That's so true. I'm closer now than I've ever been with God, and I'm so thankful for my relationship. And that's how I start every day. I start every day with gratefulness and giving thanks and asking Him to guide me, you know, because I learned a while back that I'm not supposed to understand everything. You know, that I'm supposed to have faith in Him and lean on Him to guide me, because, you know, it's not about my time.
Yeah.
It's about God's time and God's timing.
Yeah.
And I was under mind control, you know, worrying, having anxiety, depression. All of these things are demons. All these things are allowed in because of the lack of faith that people have in God. You know, and I've seen it firsthand. I've seen miracles in my life. I've seen the moment that I really open up and trust and say, God, I'm putting it in your hands. I'm gonna let your yoke take its play, and I'm gonna step back because I'm a sinner, and I'm not supposed to understand these things. I'm supposed to let you do your will through me.
Yes.
And every time I do that, everything improves. Everything.
100%. You got the authority of the believer inside of you, you know. And how many times does it say in the Bible, fear not?
It is the most repeated thing in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, most repeated thing.
And it's yet, I mean, I have a ton of fear, but I have to remind myself about that all the time. That we have an authority against the enemy that we don't use always. We don't know how to use it because we don't know how to rebuke the enemy and, you know, how to wear the armor of God. But that's something I've had to learn too. I mean, I'm a recovering Catholic. They didn't teach us this stuff in catechism class. No, they sure didn't. In fact, we could go down that rabbit hole, but that might be a better for the next episode, because I could tell you some stuff about the Catholic faith that would blow your mind.
I believe that there's extremists and zealots in everything.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe by any means that all Catholics are bad people.
No.
And I believe it's the same thing with Christians and Muslims and everything else. I think that you have people that are good people, and you have people that are bad people.
Yeah.
And they're going to go down whichever path they fit, you know. So
yeah, it's just like everything else. Unfortunately, all these secret societies have infiltrated so many religions and governments and systems in general, but definitely the Catholic religion was infiltrated by the enemy long before we were born, probably before even our grandparents were born. All you got to do is go look at the architecture of the Vatican and see how demonic it actually is.
That stuff blows my mind.
And then if you dive into Freemasonry and some of these secret societies, you know, it's actually a requirement to become a Catholic priest before you can excel in those higher levels.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation, because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature.
I didn't get that far in it.
Yeah,
you know, I was.
Glad you did.
I did go into Freemasonry. I'm a past master Mason.
Yeah.
And I went through did all the degree work and did all that, and it just did not align with my life. You know what I mean? I couldn't. It was very, very demanding.
Yeah.
On doing the work in the lodge and things like that. So it kind of fell out of my life, and I think that was God's plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that for 1 minute that was what I was supposed to be or what I was supposed to do. I think it was a season, just like everything is.
Yeah.
And I don't, even in that, I'll tell you right now that it's not all evil. You know, there's good people in that.
Yep.
You know, there's now with everything, you have extremists. And at the top of that, I'm sure there's elitists that run it. I didn't get that far into it to ever experience anything like what people say with the conspiracy things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and it was a season for me, you know, and I don't regret it. I was very enlightened by a lot of things in that, and I think that, you know, things like the Shriners and things like that, the Shriners hospitals and things like that, I think they're wonderful. I think the work that they do for children and things like that is absolutely awesome. If you're wanting to hide something or you're wanting to have a major agenda, you know, Nino Brown used to give out turkeys on Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of along that lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how can we do this? It's like a bait and switch, right?
It's like, look what we're doing over here. We're so good, but over here we're like so dark and evil, but you'll never look at that because we're putting this in front of you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how those secret societies were able to infiltrate so many religions and governments, and it's just
all the skull and bones and all of that, and you know, there's so many groups that stem off of these secret societies that are definitely nefarious in a lot of ways. You know, like there's so many rabbit holes to go down on that end of it. Like how many presidents? Past Masons and part of the Skull and Bones Society, and I've read books on that, and I've educated myself on it, and it is intriguing. I mean, it is intriguing to say the least. And the history is what drew me into all of that. You know, the Knights Templar.
Yeah.
Like if you go down that rabbit hole, if you love history, please start finding stuff about the Knights Templar and start reading up on it, because you will not be disappointed. You know, and this goes all the way back to your Catholics, you know, like, you know, the Knights Templar and all of that was all in one. You know, when they started gathering all the wealth in the world, that was the Knights Templar working for the church.
Yep.
You know, why do you think the Vatican has all these priceless things and all of this wealth and everything else? That was by design.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their lives for that. The Crusades.
Yeah.
Go read up on that. And that really blows your mind in religion. You know, killing in the name of the Lord, that's been going on for thousands of years. We're still doing it. And Israel and Iran, it's still happening right now.
Yeah, and with the wars, you got the same people that are funding both sides of these wars. That's just a realization that I've made in the last few years, that these wars are all just so calculated, and what they tell the public as to why these wars are happening has nothing to do with what, you know, and, you know, being married to a military guy who was, you know, in the Army for 23 years. It's like he was out there fighting for our freedoms and our country and stuff because that's what he was told. But so many people, military people, have been lied to as well.
Oh, yeah.
From, you know, generals at the top that are part of this like deep state apparatus, and they just manipulate and control everything, even the military. You know, so I think it's really sad. I think there's going to be a lot of exposure around what all these wars have really been about, who's funded them, what's really going on. You know, like in Ukraine, nobody on the mainstream news is talking about all the biolabs in Ukraine and all of the adrenochrome and organ harvesting that's happening.
Putin's said some things about that.
He has.
Yep.
But every time he says something, then you got the fact checkers that come in and debunk it. It's like, I mean, the whole thing is just a big fat lie. Because if the public really knew what was going on and how many biolabs were being destroyed in Ukraine, and that was one of the main reasons for the war with Russia, that Russia actually went in. I mean, we've seen interviews with Russian soldiers that experienced some of the most traumatic stuff when they discovered these children that were being held captive in cages and having their, you know, blood drawn from them for sick and nefarious purposes. And then all the pedophilia that is being exposed right now. It's much deeper than Epstein. It's much deeper than Diddy. It's so pervasive in our government. in religion, in education. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
This is why they have to slow feed us this information. It's a slow drip. These truth bombs are not bombs. They're just little like blasts that come out here and there to prep the public. That's what I think. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm going to just, that's my disclaimer. It is my opinion, but the reason why the truth is coming out slowly but surely is because if the truth was to be exposed all at once, most people would not believe it. And the ones that do believe it would be so devastated.
Yeah.
Because some of these military people that have witnessed some of this stuff and some of the law enforcement that's witnessed some of the stuff that goes on, a lot of them didn't make it because it was so traumatic for them to experience it.
That's why
to
the
rescue
suicide
these children
rate's so high in those positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that real suicide? You go down a lot of that, and something that going back to the Ukraine thing is being a tax-paying American.
Yeah,
that's where my rubber meets the road, and that's where okay, we've got these problems here that are obvious. I see them every day.
Yeah.
If you're anywhere in any part of the country that's got a bunch of population, you see poverty and you see homelessness and you see how we treat our veterans and you see all this stuff, but you want to give billions of dollars to something outside of that and make that a priority over your own well-being. Well, first of all, I believe that the best place to start in anybody's life is within themselves. That comes from people, countries, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't invite people over if you got a dirty house.
Right.
You got to start within. So that's where we should focus. And that's what I believe as a taxpayer and a hardworking American man. And I know there's a lot of people out there listening that feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of something going on outside of that to make that a priority. There's some sort of, reason, underlying reason that we're not aware of. And we're purposely not made aware of.
Yeah, I think everything ties back to New World Order and, the World Economic Forum and World Health Organization and all of these, government agencies, so-called government agencies that actually aren't agencies at all. And then you tie in all the financial stuff and how the Fed, the Federal Reserve is actually not a federal institution at all. And there's no reserves, by the way. They got no money. You look at the correlation.
Showed that.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, everything sort of culminates into this New World Order agenda. The depopulation, the social credit score, the financial, basically reset. They're trying to do like a reset where they take away cash and we've got this digital currency and then everything is controlled. Every purchase you make is controlled. This is all New World Order stuff. It all ties back to that.
Yeah.
And the folks that are promoting that are a bunch of sick, diabolical pedophiles.
Yeah, and they can all kiss my hind end. I'll put it on blast right now, every one of them.
Thank you.
And if anything ever happens to me, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Coming my way, just being honest. So,
well, yeah, and we'll just go on record saying right now that I'm not suicidal.
No,
I don't think you are either.
No, so. I love myself way, way, way too much. And I have children.
Yeah.
I have a family that depend on me. So no, don't believe any of that if something like that ever happens. That is some conspiracy. Go down the rabbit hole.
Look how many people have been suicided that spoke the truth.
Yeah. What inspired me too, amongst other things and other muses for the podcast, is other podcasts. And I've heard other podcast people, I've heard guests on Joe Rogan literally get to a juncture where they're like, I can't talk about that because my life's in danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, was that real?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then it gets into where you was talking about, them trickling out little by little.
Yeah.
These things to prepare society for an impact that they're not mentally ready for.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, who's to say we're not?
Right. Well, we are.
Right.
Our friends and family might be, but
a
the
lot of people
population
aren't.
at large, I don't know.
A lot of people aren't. You know, and that's why it gets into, like, here recently, one of the biggest bombshells that they threw out there, and I don't know if it's some sort of a play or what it is the aliens.
Yeah.
You know, they had that hearing, and you know, and they were talking about they've got vehicles, they've got biological entities.
Yeah.
That are not from here, and you know, we get talking about spiritual things and stuff like that, and like you get to talking about the Anunnaki and all of these things, and you know, is that what that is?
I
Is
wonder,
that what
man.
it is?
I definitely wonder. You know, we're getting into some biblical stuff here, so we should maybe save that for our next episode.
That's what Perception of Truth is all about, guys. Like, all of you guys out there listening, we're going to go down these rabbit holes for you guys. And this isn't just about mine and Julianne's thought process.
Right.
You know, we want to bring experts on here. We want to talk. I want to be enlightened.
Right.
I want to know. I don't know everything.
No.
That's the point of this.
We have a curiosity for the truth, you know?
Yes.
And
yes,
we're just trying to shine the light in the darkness to, you know, basically uncover the truth. So in the comment section, you know, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear back. I mean, we want to hear every perspective possible.
The truth will set you free.
Amen.
At Treatables, we understand that every pet is unique, so we offer a range of products to meet their specific needs, all packed with the same powerful 5-in-1 benefits for a balanced, healthy lifestyle, whether it's easing stress, supporting joints, boosting immunity, balancing digestion, or bringing calm to the day. Treatables products are designed with these 5 essential benefits in mind. For pets who prefer a crunchier option, our hard chewables are crafted to be both satisfying and beneficial. Our soft chewables provide all the same benefits in an easy-to-enjoy form that's easier on teeth for senior pets. If you're looking for flexibility, our oil droppers let you control the dosage with ease and for targeted relief. Our transdermal cream works directly on the skin, providing a soothing direct application for aches and stresses, but can also be used for general purposes by applying to the tips of the ear. A healthy, happy pet means harmony for the whole family.
Stop beating yourself up over that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. Aren't you a pastor? Just saying. We'll call him a philanthropath. It's a psychopath disguised as a philanthropist.
Unfortunately, some members of the community use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Because that's how the mind works.
And some of the trees actually still have their leaves.
I used to ride my motorcycle throughout, you know, Healdsburg and Santa Rosa after the fires hit, and I was like, this is not natural.
The Perception of Truth Podcast.
About it. I've been in the scene for a minute, brother.
What's going on, brother?
A little better I have been.
Yeah. So what do you think about them gummies?
Man, those gummies right there, let me tell you, I popped one down the hatch. Next thing I know, I'm putting Bible verses on Facebook. I go to the studio, write the best verse I've ever wrote in my life.
Yeah.
Can I get another?
Andy Dolores, brother, I got you. Huh?
That whole thing, me?
Yes, sir.
Brother, you that dude.
Hey, we're in the business of making you have a great day, brother.
Stress-free, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
Can I take two?
Yeah, hey, take the caramels too, brother.
I mean, just two products.
Yeah, try
you
to
got to
go.
do it. Well, I got a birthday coming up. It's about 4 months out, man. Thank you, brother.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.